Hi everyone, this is my review of the Ohana SK-35G. Now this instrument comes in all four sizes. This is the soprano size. We also can get this in the concert size, the tenor size and in the baritone size. This is one of the most popular instruments in the world at the moment. It's a beautiful instrument and it's certainly one of my favourites. I think it probably is, of the Ohana range, my top favourite, either in this size or in the tenor size. Let's go over the different woods that are used. First of all, the body wood is mahogany. It's solid mahogany, front, sides and back, and it's got some nice features on it. It's got some beautiful rosewood binding all the way around the top and the bottom, and it's got some nice elegant black and white purfling just round the front here. The rosette is white with two black rings around each side of it. The saddle is bone, as is the nut. The bridge is rosewood, and so is the fingerboard. It's just got the three markers on the fingerboard at the 5th, the 7th and at the 10th fret. Let's see the back here. We've got nice Goto tuners, very precise friction tuners. I'm aware that a lot of people don't like friction tuners, but I really do think that on a soprano ukulele they give the instrument balance. It needs to be heavier at this end than at this end. If it does that, because the tuners are too heavy geared tuners, it makes it very uncomfortable to play. I think there's a lovely rosewood plate here at the top on the headstock, and there we've got the inlaid Ohana ukuleles in some sort of pearl. The strings are of course Aquila strings, and they work very well on this instrument. I personally think that Aquila are probably the all-round best strings available at the moment, though I do also consider Worth strings to be superb. The two have a very different sound. Aquila strings on this instrument give a lovely bright sound. Getting a little bit out of tune. Strings of course always take a little while to settle in. This instrument has not been out of its box too long. So it just takes a little while for the strings to settle in, and that of course is true on any instrument. The action on this instrument is just about perfect. The nut is just at the right height, the strings are well set into the nut, and the saddle here is just at the right height. Of course, if you take this too low, the strings will start buzzing and rattling, and you also lose a tremendous amount of tone. Now, on a previous review, I did comment on the tenor version of this instrument, and I said at the time that the action on that particular instrument was very high, and it had to be lowered. Now, lowering the action took me about 15 minutes, but I was referring to that particular instrument. I've had lots of instruments of different makes that have had actions that are slightly too high. Some have been too low. But on that particular video I was referring only to that particular instrument. Some people have felt that it was a good idea to misquote me on that, and there's at least one dealer that misquotes me on that and says that all Ohana ukuleles have a high action, and that's his attempt to sell another brand of ukuleles that he happens to stock. However, I found that on many instruments, getting the right height for the action is something that's a very personal thing. I've had a canalea where the action was slightly too high. On my other canalea the action came absolutely perfectly, just at the perfect height. So it is something that you might need to do to get the action to the height that you want it. I have noticed that in Europe people like the action slightly higher than in the United States. It's a personal thing. Now, a little bit more music from this instrument. Here's a hornpipe. And here's what it sounds like if it's strummed. Enough of that one. Let's see how loud we can get this instrument to play. It plays very nicely, very quietly. Lovely dynamic range. Now, of course, with an instrument that's made of mahogany, you can expect the tone to be quite mellow, quite a subtle, mellow tone. But this instrument is beautiful. We can get a tremendous dynamic range. That means it can go from playing very quietly to very loud. And the tone remains beautifully even as well. You can play right up to the top fret. And it gives a lovely even tone. Now, I like the concert version also, but as I said before, I particularly like this soprano version and the tenor version of this. So this is the 35 series Ohana ukulele. An absolutely beautiful, traditional looking instrument. I think that's all I have to say about this for now. You can get more information from the main Ohana website. Anyway, thank you for listening. Bye bye.